I get nothing but Forma. Warframe is a grind, and I sure do know that. I've been playing Warframe for years, and I believe I have been playing since the end of 2014. I think that the game is incredibly fun and has a lot of mechanics to figure out. Realistically, you won't find it to be difficult, but you can have a high skill cap to work up to. It has a lot of different systems to figure out, and it can take a while to be able to understand them. When I first started the game, it had almost zero game systems to work with, but it still had a lot of basic looter shooter content, and that was fun. While I had the basic content, it didn't have enough to keep me playing at the time. I ended up dropping Warframe in 2015 for other games with friends, and I forgot about it for a while. Hopefully you guys don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps quite a lot. After I believe Stolen Dreams, I started to play games that weren't Warframe and enjoyed taking a break. Fast forward to 2017 when the quest Chains of Harrow first dropped. I started the game back up and finished playing the second dream and the War Within, and good lord was I in love with the game again. I would spend hours on end after work playing the story and getting mods that I didn't have at the time. I actually enjoyed the game for another 3 years, but once 2020 hit and the first COVID wave struck, I stopped playing Warframe once again. I played a lot of VR chat at a time and actually played it for a solid 2 years before getting back into Warframe again. At this point, I didn't even understand most of the new systems like Kuvaliches or Sisters of Parvos. I didn't even do the actual quest for the sisters until this year. I knew Steel Path was the thing, but I wasn't really geared for it either. I didn't know how to work a lot of the new nodes on the map because Angels of the Zerman quest was brand new. It took me in a new direction, and as a returning player, I was blown away in a pretty bad way too. I had zero clue what I should do first, and I wasn't sure if I should look up a video on what to do next. Eventually, I dropped the game once more, believing that I wasn't going to be able to understand it enough to catch up to Steel Path and play some endgame content. However, coming up onto May of 2024, I looked at videos of Warframe 1999 and was in awe. They were bringing proto frames into the game with Arthur and Owie. I was ecstatic and in love with the game's story once again. I didn't know where to start and instantly went to videos to understand more. I researched and played and then researched some more. I was playing all the quests to catch up, farming open world standing, and even doing arbitrations to get mods that can become vital for Steel Path. I felt really strong at this point, and I ended up getting a lot of frames and primes because the insane amount of old vaulted relics I acquired over the years. Now, remember, I didn't play much after the relic introduction, so a lot was around 30 or so relics each for me. I learned how to play Duviri and found out more about the world and lore, and tried to understand a lot about the systems I was using. I felt powerful and strong enough to play Steel Path. When I played my first few runs of Steel Path in Duviri circuit, I was not doing a lot of damage, and my team assured me that I was doing fine, and even helped me grab my first Incarnate weapon, which I just like the original version of the gun. Forward Incarnate. Without even knowing a single thing about meta of this weapon, I went forward with the upgrade because I used the regular version of this weapon. Dear God, did this change everything for me. I built the weapon for crit and some status, not exactly knowing what status does still. I built corrosive because in my mind, that's all that was useful at the time. My mind was still heavily stuck in 2017 when that was all I was told to use. Granted, I did tons of damage still. I couldn't reach level cap, nor could I keep alive because Inaros was my only frame that could stay alive. I searched the forums and looked through builds on overframe.gg. Don't do this, by the way. Most of these builds aren't useful, and only a couple of them, like Ninjase, are good to use. A lot of the times they're used for people's own enjoyment of building builds on the site first. Try and find a video guide about warframes and how to build them easily and work on your own builds from there. And I found a lot of builds for other frames to try. I started playing Wisp, and wow, was she powerful. Her motes allow HP and HP regen. Haste allows you to run, melee, and shoot faster. And then the shock mote, which zaps, I believe, up to 5 enemies and stuns them for a few seconds. The coolest thing about these motes is they actually tie in very well with Archon Stretch and Archon Intensify. Often mods will work in favor of a lot of abilities, but you just have to work towards those builds. I feel like this game has so much build diversity, and that's why it's so fun. You can create literal meme builds based on the worst ability of a frame's kit and still somehow make it viable. Being able to make a build for you is how it should be. Sure, Steel Path will be hard to take a lot of meme builds into, but isn't the point of the game to have fun? Yeah, the game has a lot of content and that can bloat the game a little bit, but it's still a great game. In my unprofessional YouTube opinion, Warframe is in a great state right now and feels enjoyable enjoyable to play and learn about. The story is phenomenal, the builds are fun and hilarious, the gunplay is wonderful. With Jade Shadows coming out this month and 1999 coming eventually, the game will get even better. Anyways, I appreciate the ones taking a step back from the grind on Warframe to watch this video. If you give me the pleasure of watching my videos again, I'll catch you in Hydron for leveling gear. My name is Ballas as a massive L, and I'm saying Warframe is the best looter shooter. I'll see you guys next time.